both of you, let's begin with a rapid fire.
All right, then please remember we're firing at her, not at each other, okay?
We'll see. We'll see about that. But right now, my guns are trained at you.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I think let's begin with one question that comes to my mind
Sure.
for you, Aditya.
Sure.
One thing that people don't know about Akanksha.
So, although there's many things that I wish I could say, but like the first two things that I come to mind is, okay, first, she was actually like the star defender in our football team when we were growing up.
Wow,
and all the boys were afraid of her because like they couldn't like, get close to a girl or like, like rough her up. So she was like always first pick for defense. And she played for the school team in high school for like 3 months.
Yeah,
Correct?
that's true.
Yeah, and then like she's like, screw this, I want to do like dance.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
And the second is that her and I got our junior black belts when I was 14, you were 16.
Yeah.
So,
For karate.
So she's a lethal weapon.
With lots of jewelry. So, take it as you want.
Yeah.
That was quite nice, right? It was quite good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
This was great. So we only see you as a power woman, right? And this is the other side too.
Yeah.
No, this just shows that it started at a young age.
So Akanksha, how can we leave you behind, right? So one thing about Aditya that people don't know.
Yeah, it's the same. I wish I could tell you so many more things. But the one thing is that this man is a total vitamin and supplement freak. Like he totally loves it. If he had a small fortune, which I think he has already spent, he would spend it on trying out all the new different vitamins. And he has no interest in anything else, okay? He would not buy an expensive watch. He would not... Look at
Proof. Right here. AM, PM.
I don't even know what's in it. I don't know if he knows what's in it. But
Who cares?
yeah, but he just absolutely loves it. And he spends a good amount of time. And when I travel with him, that's when I mostly realize how much time he spends. And okay, you can see him. He clearly works out. The other thing I want to say is this man actually spends more time stretching and doing yoga than actual workout, which I have now learned is the essence of growing older with a little bit of dignity and flexibility. But I'm an admirer of that, So this is something people really would never find out because you can't tell when you look at him. But yeah.
Because it's all downhill after 30.
Thanks
No,
a
really.
lot.
I mean, if you want to put your body through, intense activities, you need to recover. And I found out the hard way, right? So, and I think it's just like longevity. When you're younger, you just like are reckless. You can do whatever you want. But then you realize that you can't afford to get injured anymore, right? So that's why the whole change in mindset of more sustainable practice, sustainability in health.
Yeah.
as well. That's right.
Yeah. So that's it. You really couldn't tell that. What I've told you, you definitely can never tell when you look at him.
Yeah, this guy stretches
Can touch his toes without bending his knees.
and stay there for a long time.
All right.
That's a great combination of a sibling, no? Football and yoga.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we asked this question today. Yeah. Okay, so moving to the real questions now.
Yes, please.
Yeah. We'll start with Akanksha. Favorite memory of the sea?
Favorite memory of the sea. Okay. Actually, I did this thing called Semester at Sea when I was at university. Basically, it's literally a floating university that goes around the world, and you apply to it as a student, and you go to a certain voyage. And it was really, really because I had some knowledge of the sea, I knew the right words to use. I wouldn't call it a boat. I would call it a ship. I wouldn't call it parking. I would call it docking. I wouldn't call it a driver.
Bunker.
I would call it a captain. I wouldn't call it
Gas.
I would call it bunkers. And so, but it was the best because I grew up with that, and then I got to do something so revolutionary that most people don't do. I've not sailed on board as a crew, but I've done that, which I thought was quite amazing.
Amazing.
For 4 months.
Okay. If you could only do one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably play soccer as a defender.
This? Can I say this? I don't know. This is a very good question, but I'm I'm a mom to two young girls, and I think while everything else has been, I'm very thankful for it. But being a mother is really quite a privilege. So I think I would do that. I would if I had to choose something, I would just be a mom. Yeah.
Also, it's your daughter's first birthday, yeah?
Actually,
I just remembered.
Yeah, and I've been looking at my phone because in 3 minutes is when she came last year this time.
Oh,
So I've been just it's an emotional experience,
Yeah.
but
Wait,
you know
did you account for time difference?
yes, of course. That is truly younger brother question. But yeah, it is her birthday. It's her first birthday. But this one's given me wings. This child's given me wings as a mom. So I've managed to do so much. This last year, I never thought was possible. So sometimes, having kids gives you, like, you have to do more. How do I put it? Like you actually are stressed out for time. So you actually manage your time very well.
Yes.
So yeah.
True. And we are so glad we could have you here today. It shows that you're passionate as well as that you have people right there waiting for you.
Yeah.
You're loved.
Oh, that's so
it's a
sweet.
great
That is so
feeling.
sweet.
Yeah.
That is so
So
sweet.
give her a message.
Right now?
Yeah.
I'll give both my daughters a message. I'll tell them that, look, the world's not always going to be easy, but you can do it. And that's what so many women before me have done. That's what we are doing as women here. And we have people who are men supporting us. But the world is what you define it to be. And you really, really can do whatever you set your mind to. The problem is that we don't usually have a vision. But once you have a vision, you can achieve it, whatever it is. So, and yeah, I will always love you.
So Akanksha's elder daughter, Avya, made this for me. And it
So
says, you can take a look at it. It says edamame. Because
Okay.
like edamame,
Yeah.
like what you eat. Yeah. So she calls me edamame.
Because his name is
Mamu,
Aditya,
right?
yeah,
Mamu.
and Mamu.
Yeah.
So cute.
So I don't take it off.
That's very nice and touchy. Okay, so jumping back to the rapid fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
If you could rename a ship, what would you call it?
Oh, as in which ship though? Sorry. like as in I don't
I
have.
think you would only get a tugboat.
What was that? I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, I think the vessel I sailed on was called MV Explorer,
Okay,
which I think is a fantastic name for a vessel.
that's great.
Yeah, I always find it a bit weird if you name it with people and then you scrap it, because then I'm like, oh my God. Like people's names,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
end up scrapping it. Like it's just,
So why not like Batura 1? So you could scrap the first one and you still have a second.
you could, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Batura Explorer. So mix it up. Yeah.
Sounds good. So coming to the next one, the most scenic route you have ever sailed.
Oh, I mean, I've not sailed that much, but in my extensive experience, I think the Panama Canal was it was not scenic. It was more revolutionary than anything. Like it really, you're marveling at engineering. Insane, and when it was made, how it was completed with so much politics, so much geopolitics, how much money they had to throw into it. It's a marvel. It really is an engineering marvel. Yeah, and now that with all the things happening in the Panama Canal,
Yeah.
with the water issues and the passage issues, that it's sad, but it's amazing. Yeah.
The last one for you, the best piece of maritime advice you have ever received.
Oh, I don't think it's been specific to maritime. It's always, it's what I actually have already said. Basically, it's, whatever job you get, do the best. Do it the best you possibly can. And respect it when people give you an opportunity or they ask you to do something. Do it well. Follow up. Actually, it's quite interesting. But I was just we were just discussing. I turned 35 in last December, and I posted a list of life lessons at 35 life lessons I've learned that I wish I knew at 20. And actually, I abide by all of them. I try to. But the one thing I think is more than anything else is just do your best whenever you get an opportunity. And since this is a more professional podcast and not like a family oriented one and all that I think is you can take it home anywhere and follow it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Moving to you, Aditya. So, what's one thing about seafarers that most people don't know?
Oh, that's a tough one. They're actually very talented people, because when you're on board, like
Yeah.
for months at a time, you firstly have to keep yourself entertained. Especially back in the day when you didn't have strong Wi-Fi and stuff, and they are problem solvers because you have to do both these things, right?
Yes.
And of course, we saw that from our dad. But as you go out there and talk to more people, especially the senior ones, you realize that they're a very talented bunch,
Yeah.
right? We've even met like DJs,
Yeah.
captains who are DJs, because
Yeah.
they just picked it up while they were sailing. So yeah, those two things.
Yes, and I would also like to add, it takes a lot to be on the vessel sailing, because I have spoken to a couple of people who
Yeah.
have been on like long voyages or been on the sea for a long time, and they have ended up saying that when we wake up, there's nothing but the sea.
Yeah.
It's scary, okay, but then they are doing it for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, hats off to them.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's the difference. Like you asked me where if I've sailed or whatever. I sailed as a passenger, right? Like when you're crew, you're in charge. It's scary to realize in that vast expanse you're the one in charge. You're guiding this ship. Like everyone's lives are dependent on everyone doing their jobs correctly.
Yeah.
And when I see videos of like rough sea, I'm like, wow, these
Yeah.
guys have so much guts, right? Just
Absolutely.
men of steel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Name a book or movie about the sea that everyone should watch.
About the sea. Well, this is a tough one. Does it have to be about like sailing? Like just
Anything.
remotely? Can I say Titanic?
I would say that.
I mean, it's a
Because-
lovely movie.
Yeah.
But I'm a freak about like learning about things and history. So watched a number of documentaries about
Yes.
Titanic and like the whole process of I guess salvaging or salvaging whatever they could from it and understanding what really went wrong. Because for the longest time, people didn't really know what
Yeah.
caused it to
Yes,
sink.
yes.
Yeah. So I would say that I'm going to stick to that.
I would say the same, because we have been, our industry is more specific to life saving, firefighting. So all this you get to learn from Titanic. I have realized when you see.
Get to learn a lot of lessons,
Yeah,
right? A
yeah.
lot of lessons,
About
right?
safety,
About safety.
life at sea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just being prepared and not overconfident, like
Yes.
nothing can go wrong kind of mindset.
Yeah. Akansha, I would like to ask the same question to you. Name a book or movie about the sea that everyone should watch.
Okay, so the book I'm about to recommend is really quite helpful. It's very fabulous in terms of giving you the knowledge, but it can get very boring. So please, that you've been warned. It's called The Box by Mark Levinson. Yes, thank you. Couldn't remember the author's name for the longest time. But basically it talks about the evolution of shipping, how the container came about, why it came about, what it did to the stevedores, because essentially stevedoring was disrupted. How disruption has been a part and parcel of shipping throughout. And frankly, it just drills into the fact that, can you imagine, like it's 90% of the world's volume that is transported by sea. Like I don't think people realize how insanely huge that is, and how hard hitting that is. So this book actually goes all the way in. It's a little bit of a dense read, but I think if you actually want to understand what you're doing and the background of it and how it has changed, it's an interesting book to read. Yes.
So it's a great, boring, interesting, knowledgeable book, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, you can just don't read it before bedtime because you will forget which page you were at when you fell asleep. So
Okay, good one. So Aditya, biggest innovation in shipping right now?
There's so much to choose from. I think scrubbers are a huge innovation. I would say I will go with scrubbers.
Okay.
They've done a lot for sustainability.
That's great. What's the best thing about working in shipping?
Well, my immediate response was kind of tongue in cheek. I was going to say nothing.
I'm leaving.
You're considering it's a 24/7 job.
Like Akanksha said, right? I think shipping is the backbone of the world. So for
Yes.
me, right, someone who comes from technology, I was always jaded that, oh, shipping is backward, boring, dark, dingy kind of thing. Technology is like sexy, is the future. But I mean, you have to keep in mind that the world was running on the basis of shipping even before, we had technology, right? Even before we had the internet, before we had the first computer, right? So shipping is the backbone of the world, and it is indispensable.
Yep.
And I guess that's the best part of it, right? Being part of that ecosystem where you know that you are really adding value to human life.
Great. The last one, the most underrated role in the maritime world.
Oh.
I think we got you tough questions.
Yeah, these are very, very tough questions. I think there's two people I want to mention. The first, of course, being seafarers,
Yep.
and the second being women, right? Both very underrated and very crucial roles because, like I said, like when I went to Vista and I had all these experiences, I realized that they are the unsung heroes of the maritime world, and the same thing with seafarers, right? Especially during COVID, right? There was so much mental health issues, because people were just stranded at sea, right? And someone had to do the dirty work, right? And it was them. And to me, they are like the unsung heroes of the industry.
Thank you, Aditya. This
Yeah.
brings me back to Akanksha because you have been doing so much for the seafarers. So I would just want you to explain what exactly the committee you work for, and you're the global ambassador for
Yeah.
that, right? For MTS. So
Yeah.
if you could enlighten us with that.
So, frankly speaking, I will not say that I do a lot for seafarers. There are plenty of people who do so much more. Okay, so allow me to just explain a little bit. So, other than working in our day jobs, that's our bread and butter. What I essentially do is I am on the council of Singapore Shipping Association. I am the IMO Goodwill Maritime Ambassador representing Singapore, and I'm the MTS Global Ambassador. MTS is Mission to Seafarers, and I sit on a couple of committees in Singapore, which is Nautical Institute and Mission to Seafarers Singapore Committee. So in these roles, what my intention, and earlier, by the way, I was the Young Executives Group chairperson as well. So, but now I've transitioned into a different committee at the SSA. But in these roles, my idea or my thought process is always two things. One is I'm extremely thankful for this industry and for the livelihood it's given me, and I want to give back to it by making it more accessible, more equitable to everyone, basically, not just for basically the disenfranchised, right? The second thing is to spread awareness. We have a serious talent shortage in our industry. Maritime and logistics seriously needs capacity building for the next few years. This is why digitization is important as well for the sustainability of the workforce, which is what you asked earlier. But otherwise, we also have to make normal people understand, especially young people or even mid-career professionals, understand what is in it in maritime and why can they consider a career switch or consider this being their career as students as well. So that is actually what I try to do. I try to at least make the industry more accessible. So I'm not saying I'm doing a lot for seafarers, no, but what I'm doing is I'm at least spreading the word of maritime. So even on social media, I post quite a bit, not just on LinkedIn, but even on Instagram, where people from my professional life don't even know that. But the idea is that the industry has this, like the 3Ds are there for the industry right now, which is dark, dangerous, and dingy. I think that was the word. But the point is, we are trying to make it light, accessible, forward thinking. So
I think it was dirty.
Yeah, dark, dangerous, dirty, fine. But what I'm saying is that in these roles that I do, it is truly just to make the industry more attractive, make people more aware of the work that happens, and genuinely, seafarers are truly the unsung heroes. but the entire industry, everybody supports, you know. It's so highly fragmented yet tight-knit. Everybody's doing some part of the role. So the idea is that let people understand that this is all that happens, number one. Number two, you can get involved if you like. And number three, there are many places where you can bring your skill set that don't even exist yet. You know, you don't have to follow the mold that exists. So that is actually what I do outside of work.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, the seafarers are the unsung heroes. But because in Singapore we also have a dwindling shortage, we don't have that many Singaporean seafarers. It's also different. The ecosystem looks different for us. But yes, we're children of a seafarer himself. Our mom was half a captain, I tell you, because at that time actually you will know this, but like a lot of companies were short staffing because they were trying to be more efficient with manpower. So actually, if wives came on board, they did shifts as well. They did bridge watch. They kept watch. So I'm telling you that it really runs in our blood.
Yeah.
So it's that's what I do. So just since you asked what are these roles, this is what the roles do.
This is great, and I hope and wish there are many people who continue to do and give back to the society, like you said.
Yeah.
So, Akanksha, for people out there, how can they be a part of this committee? If you would like to guide
Oh,
them?
there are many ways, and I'm actually very approachable for these things. So if you are in Singapore and you want to be part of the Singapore Shipping Association, we can guide you. Like there's everything's available online, like all the information. But if there's anything you need a question or whatever, more than happy to reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'll try my best to help. But basically, you can get involved in very many different ways. There are so many networking communities in Singapore, and people are generally very welcoming in our industry. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Aditya, I think even you are a part of Singapore Shipping Association,
Yeah, I
right?
sit on the digitization
Yes. So, how do you find your balance between these roles and everything else that you're doing when it comes to innovation and
Yeah.
transformation?
I think the question is about really trying to find the balance to do everything. And there's a quote that has always stuck to me, and it says, self-imposed discipline is the surest way to increase the quality of your existence.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say that again. Self-imposed discipline is the surest way to increase the quality of your existence. And I think understanding, what serves you and what does not is the most important thing. And there are sacrifices that you have to make in terms of time, in terms of not being able to chill and watch Netflix, But you really have to ask yourself why you're doing it, right? And what really adds value, what adds credence to your, I guess, existence and legacy. So I think it's possible to do everything. So right now I'm actually a full-time PhD student, right? And aside from everything I do, it's a full-time PhD program that I'm enrolled in, and I'm 15 months into it, right? And my research is on AI and design science, like using artificial intelligence for design thinking, specifically for ideation. So, and I asked myself, why did I take that on, right? But if not now, then when, right? Because you are always going to be too busy for anything. But if you want to do something, you have to find a way to make it happen, right? And that's really what I guess change and leadership is all about. So it's really about picking your battles. It's really about knowing why you're waking up in the morning,
Yeah.
So if you wake up and you spring out of bed and you have a purpose, then you don't really feel like you are struggling.
Thank you, Aditya. So, Akanksha, coming to you, you are also one of the top 100 women in the shipping, correct? So, would you like to share some thoughts for our fellow people out there?
Yeah, I feel like that top 100 accolade is quite hefty, but it is really just basically there's a lovely publication in the UK that does essentially ranks women based on their nominations and votes every year. And so I was fortunate enough to debut last year at number 11. So it's 1 to 100. But I'm extremely thankful for that honor, but also more importantly with the women that I'm with and the women I get to meet through that platform is fantastic. There's another platform I'd like to give a shout out to, if you'd let me, is the Maritime CEO community. Basically, the founder is this lovely, amazing lady called Miss Sanjam Gupta, and she started this endeavor, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. But frankly speaking, I don't even think she realized, when she started it, what a force it would become. And it now has. It's basically a huge community of women from all over the world, all who are either maritime professionals, logistics professionals, or shipping professionals. Basically, it's all encompassing, and it's a community for women, run by women, and it's community oriented, community based, and of course there's Vista as well. But and you can have both things in tandem. There are so many communities for other organizations, but these two are very much for women in shipping. And I want to give a shout out to that, because I'm an ambassador this year for them as well. But I think more than that, I really appreciate what the founders have done and what the community has done to create this. And the other thing I wanted to share actually is that this value of lifelong learning. I think Aditya has also mentioned that he's doing his PhD. And I just wanted to give a shout out to, I'm doing a course, I'm doing a postgrad diploma with World Maritime University at the moment. It's not the easiest, it's distance learning. And there are very many options you can choose from. It's not the easiest because you have to manage work, family life, and that. And you're basically up at night asking your spouse or your partner to be like, hey, can you manage it? I just need a few hours to do my course. But it's very valuable. It's very worth it. And they're different courses. And I encourage people to invest in that money if your company can or if you can. It's valuable. I have felt the difference myself. Like, even though I've been going to these panels and all, I would realize that I would always, listen to something, and if it's a technical thought, I would then list it down and then catch up later. And the difference I felt now is that I keep up. The difference is between catching up and keeping up. And I think if you have the resources, whether your company can support you, do consider going for lifelong learning courses, like these kind of things, and they really augment your understanding of the world. I know you asked me a women-oriented question, but I think that we also have to constantly learn and relearn and unlearn, and this is important for me to talk about on your podcast as well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss.
Thank you so much, Akanksha, for sharing the insights, because it is very important for people out there to know that there is so much more into
Yes.
the maritime world that, like you were mentioning, people are not aware of.
Yes.
So it's a great way to put it across, and I'm sure the listeners will be very happy and will take advantage of such courses available.
Yeah, I
So,
hope so.
Yeah. This brings us to the end of the podcast, and one parting thought for the audience from you, Akanksha.
Honestly, I will give my parting thought in a bit, but I just want to thank Arkship for doing this, because I think that when you bring people like us together and you have such a wonderful host and such a wonderful team that you can't see behind the camera, it really makes the industry so much more accessible, and you get access to so many things. And if, let's say for instance, someone sees this episode and then messages Aditya on LinkedIn, like there's already a connection, and then you develop that community. So before I give my quote unquote parting thoughts, I truly want to thank you. And Jayati's been fantastic.
Oh, fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
And the whole team.
Yeah, the whole team.
And the studio's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to say to anyone who's watching, and I hope you do, that if you get a call from them to join, please come. Don't decline this. I think it's really nice to share your story, and it's very helpful for other people, the younger generation, to also learn from your thoughts. So I think my parting thoughts would be that, actually. And the other thing would be, actually, if you don't mind, is that because you're talking about young people as well, I just want to say, when you say follow your passion, that's a scam. It's a big scam. Nobody knows their passion. You develop passion for something that you do repeatedly and you get better at. When I joined this industry, I was floundering. I would second guess myself. I still have so much imposter syndrome so many times. Do I belong where I sit? But the point is, you get better at things and you put yourself in tougher situations. You take on things, you say yes more often. So you develop a passion. So don't think about following your passion. Just do something again and again, get better at it, and the passion will follow. So that's something I just want to share.
Thank you. Aditya, from your side.
Yeah. So same thing, I'll give you a story. So we live in a time of change, right? And we always have to keep reinventing and learning, right? Unlearning and relearning things. So 2-3 years ago, I got approached by the gym owner of the jiu-jitsu gym that I train. I train in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And they were very into NFTs at the moment, right? At that time. So I didn't really pay attention to NFTs, and neither have I since. But they were interested for someone to help them build it, right? Build the tech, build the whole, the whole backbone of it. And I told them, okay, I'll do it if you give me some skin in the game. And I went from like not caring to that because I thought that, okay, I can get paid for this and learn a new skill, right? I can learn Web 3.0 technology. And I took it up, right? So I spent extra time. I spent my weekends really just doing that. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because that's the nature of the world we live in, right? So we can learn. So this is my message to whoever's watching this, right? That you live in a time where learning what you want to learn can be achieved, because you just need to go on YouTube and just search for something you're trying to learn. But it's really about learning how to learn. And that's something we have to learn, right? And that's the most important thing. Because once we can learn how to learn, you will realize that you can really learn anything, anytime, anywhere, right? And you can accomplish anything. So nothing is impossible because you have all the resources. Now it's just about a matter of whether you have the will and whether you have the desire to make the time to achieve it. So remember, learn how to learn, not learn what to learn.
Thank you so much, Aditya. Thank you, Akanksha.
Thank you.
You both were wonderful today, and I'm sure we are taking away so much more from this podcast today.
I really hope so. If not, we will never get called back, okay? For episode 2, please call us back.